Yes, with my wonderful friend Mark.
Absolutely. And we love making content for y'all.
Yes.
And we were just talking about backstage how
Mhm.
this weather is really dealing with, a lot of people
Yeah.
and
It's
their
it's awful right now.
schedules. And, I
Mhm.
remember I grew up in Colorado and they didn't close the school for us.
No, they never said that. It was because, which I get it to a certain extent, it's been so cold that first thing in the morning, they don't want kids walking to and from school because they're worried about frostbite. They're worried that they're not dressed appropriately enough. That'll be detrimental to their health. So I get it to certain points, but man, they definitely could have gone to school today.
They did not care if we
No,
died.
did not, especially
When
after
I
having
was,
off yesterday for the holiday.
my mom used to give us Wonder Bread wrappers to put on
Uh-huh.
our feet, put in your boot,
Yeah.
and go.
Yeah, because it was waterproof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to reach out to some of those people, the X generation people, and tell stories about what we had to do, because it's crazy.
Because it's
And
crazy.
go ahead.
Oh no, I was just repeating after you. I mean, it was crazy and stuff with the things that we used to have to do, comparatively speaking, to nowadays. Something as basic as walking to school. That's something my kids have never done. I just drive every day.
I know.
Yeah.
We used to
Mm-hmm.
ride the bus and ride our bikes and walk and
Mm-hmm.
all that stuff. And nowadays, it's different.
Yeah, well, and I would absolutely have my kids walk to school if it wasn't for the fact that it is so hectic. It is genuinely, really, I feel unsafe around the schools for them to be walking. I've almost seen kids freaking hit numerous times. So I'm like, meh, we'll skip it, and I guess I'll just keep taking you.
Well, Nicole, you're soft. That's the
I
biggest
am
that's the
absolutely.
biggest problem. You're extremely soft.
Oh, absolutely.
Um,
That is the difference between me and Charles.
yes, yeah.
Yes.
Your husband pushes them out the door, kicks them in the butt, and away they
Yeah,
go.
it's like, bye.
That's good. That's good. Let's talk um, real quickly about the synergy part of our company, because
Yes.
obviously, we're involved in growing our CBD brand
Mhm.
and having people get to know us and what we do.
Mhm.
But we're also an advertising company, and we're
Mhm.
also a modeling company and a spokesperson company, and we're doing all of those different things that have to do with um, being successful.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I talked to you last week
Mhm.
about your personal investments that your family's considering doing.
Yes, and you reached out to my husband yesterday,
I
so I was
talked to
very excited.
him, and
Mhm.
the um, the way my investment group works is we buy properties for cash.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
just so everyone else knows, um, getting started is the hardest part of wealth building. And my wife and I, back in 10 or 15 years ago,
Mhm.
we used to get a loan, a cash out refinance on our personal house, and
Mhm.
then
And
we
that's
got
the HELOC, right?
that's a cash out refinance.
Oh, okay.
The HELOC is a home equity loan.
Okay, okay.
A
Mhm.
home equity loan goes on top of your current mortgage. The cash
Oh,
out
okay.
refinance just refinances everything.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
And people are doing the HELOCs now because they want to keep their low rates.
Okay.
So they're
Mhm.
just taking out a little bit of money on top. But one of the things that I talked to Charles about was our system allows
Mhm.
for only cash investors
Yes.
on
Which
the
I think is
particular.
almost better because then you're not like rolling in with all this like interests and everything else.
Oh, it's so hard to be successful
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
you've got the banker taking the money out. Um,
Right.
but the problem is that you individually, it's difficult to just go out and stroke a check for $130,000 house because a lot of people don't have that money available. So what I do is I put together teams of investors that are like-minded individuals that are doing the same things for their families, and you have to be a blessing to the group.
Hmm.
You have to be somebody that's willing to learn and participate in what we're doing, and then um, each family comes together with their own percentage. So let's say that we're doing $100,000 property, and we have 4 families or whatever. Everybody comes to the table with $30,000, and that gives us $120,000 to buy $100,000 property, do whatever we have to do to get it started, and then start building the wealth. And none of the
Right.
partners uh, take any money out of it or put a loan on it or whatever until the agreed upon wealth is starting to be generated. And it pinches, if we talk to Luann, I mean, it's hard to get started. But let's say that somebody like you and your husband get together and they're watching what we're doing, and the classes about what we're doing with the different houses are free. So you can
Hmm.
reach out to us and say, hey, I want to be part of the Synergy Network. I want to buy some houses. I want to see what we're doing. Um, that's all free. But when I was talking to Charles, I said, this is something that you might be interested in to get started. I'm going to have a show later today with Karen. And Karen
Okay.
is a really cool real estate agent that does business in Florida and in Colorado. And
Oh, okay.
her podcast with me is going to um, touch on some of her areas of expertise. Like
Hmm.
she does the short-term rental,
Okay.
the
Hmm.
the luxury Airbnb type stuff. I'm not a
Hmm.
fan, but
Okay.
she does that kind of thing. So I'm going to touch on some of that, but also she does something called a self-directed IRA. And that's the thing that I was talking to Charles about. And what that means is you can take a portion of your retirement
Hmm.
account and put it in a self-directed IRA, and you can buy real estate with it.
Oh,
And the trust that holds the money that you transfer over is still in an IRA, but it's self-directed, and that allows the house to stay in your IRA and grow,
hmm.
but the bills have to be paid out of that and the rents have to go into that. So you're managing that trust account inside of your retirement account.
Well,
And
and that's something that I think is really, really good for him to learn about because I genuinely feel like, especially through the city that he works for, that they're the only ones that can kind of do with the money, like invest it in different ways, do all this different stuff. And I think that we've been conditioned that it's just one particular way that would benefit other people without it benefiting the person who's actually putting forth the money. So I think that this would be a really great class for him to sit in on and just kind of learn some of that stuff. I'm like, what he can actually do with the money that he's worked for his entire IRA and everything. So I think that that's great. Going back to the thing with, and what did you say her name was? It's not Kim, is
Karen.
it? Karen. Okay, Karen. Why? And just because I'm absolutely interested in it and stuff. Why is short-term rental properties not your thing personally? Like, what experiences have you had? What have you done to where it's made it to where that's unattractive for you?
We did it. We took
Yeah.
one of our Inglewood houses, fixed it up, and
that's when you're still renting, right?
yeah, we still own the houses. We're still
Yes.
renting them long term, and I'll describe exactly what happened.
Okay.
You know, we had to do something with the house. A renter was leaving, and I told Luann, I said, "Hey, why don't we Airbnb this? We're in Colorado. We're right close to Red Rocks, the ski area, DTC, the downtown, because Denver is hot with people wanting to come in
Yes.
and do all this stuff."
Insane.
And so we fixed it all up and advertised it on Airbnb and Vrbo and all that kind of stuff. And I was getting about $3,000 a month.
Okay.
For that little 3-bedroom house. But the expenses were crazy.
Okay.
The cleaning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the restocking. And we had to pay for the cable and electricity, the heat, mow the lawn, shovel the walks, all these things that the regular tenants should take responsibility for when they're living in the house.
Okay.
We were having to pay for. Not only put TVs in it, furniture, all the other stuff. It was costing me like $1,500 in expenses.
So you're really only taking home about $1,500 a month.
Yeah. And
which
I
probably went to pay down the principal, right, of the mortgage?
No mortgage. We don't have any mortgage.
Oh, okay. So it's just paid off. Perfect.
Never. We never have any mortgages on investment properties. If I did, we would.
Right.
But I rent it now to a really neat gal, and she pays $2,300 a month and covers everything.
Right.
And it's less hassle. I don't have to, you know, my cleaner used to call me all the time. And as a matter of fact, Turbo Cleaning Services, I'll have her on our show. She's a neat entrepreneur. And I will have her on the show and she could talk about it. But, you know, these people just abuse your place and they throw up. Christina would call me all the time. They're throwing up all over the place. Closets are ripped off the thing. I mean, it just absolutely was not my fave.
Okay. And I think that's a good reason and stuff. I just didn't know if there was something specific, which is kind of funny that you say that, because that is actually something Charles had to deal with the other day at work. I think it was actually last week, Thursday and stuff, where it was these people had rented out an Airbnb for 2 days. And he said that when he went, because they were supposed to be out by a certain time, the cleaning lady had to come in. Not only were these people not out, they had insane amounts of stuff that they brought in for 2 days that, I mean, essentially, my husband told me that it looked like they had been living there for a minimum of 10 months at that point, after 2 days. And so that's all that they had rented it for. And so they had to go in pretty much like kick them out and stuff, and like have them with all their stuff on the front lawn. And they had to change the code to the house. Like, it was like this whole thing. And it ran into the time of the next people renting. So I didn't know if there was something in regards to that, because that doing an Airbnb, especially because I feel like it's become oversaturated with inside like the markets and everything else. Like, I feel like so many people are doing it, that it's not really a thing that I find attractive, is to do an Airbnb. So I like your reasoning behind it.
Well, the other thing is, there is a lot of pain in the
Okay.
economy right now, and there are a lot of people that used to be throwing around a bunch of money that aren't now. That people are
Okay.
running out of this free money. That they're not spending as lavishly on crazy things anymore.
That's
And so if
true.
you've got a $1,200 a night or $1,500 a night, ski thing or whatever, a lot of people are not being able to afford that right now. And when I'm making real estate investments,
Hmm.
I want meat and potatoes. I
Hmm.
want a 2 or a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home that a family can live in and have a dog or whatever. And
Right.
those people are always going to need to have a place to live.
Hmm.
And they're going to need to have it be affordable and nice.
Well, and that's exactly the thing that I like the most about you is that you are the same way as me. That's another reason why for an Airbnb, I feel like there are so many people nowadays, so many people that are homeless, that if the
Yeah.
people who keep having the money keep getting properties like Airbnbs and stuff, like, and we're only helping out people who can afford it versus the other people. I really enjoy with what you do is because you do find these places, you do get them at affordable prices. You are able to truly help somebody versus somebody's lavish lifestyle.
Well, and it goes back to our mission that we do is, doing well by doing good,
Right.
and
Right.
it's okay to make money, and we could do whatever we want.
Right.
However, I choose to be servicing people that really can use some help, like 20 years worth of used computers. I
Yes.
could
Yeah.
have been in the high tech part of it,
Right.
but I chose to do used computers for people, and we gave away a computer every single day for 25 years. And a lot of those flashier new people went out of business.
Yes. Right.
My
Right.
company that I started in 94 is still in business.
Yeah, it's
It's still
still
a thing.
running here in Colorado.
Still a thing. And
Still.
so, the other thing is, I would rather run a hot dog cart or a series of hot dog cart businesses than a fine dining steak place.
Right.
Because a $500 dinner,
Is once in a great moon.
and it's going to run out, but there's a
Right.
certain amount of people that can do that. But, somebody that needs to have a hot dog and a
Mhm.
bag of chips and a soda while they go to
For
Home
cheap.
Depot. And,
Yep.
those are
Mhm.
my people. Those are the people that I like.
Well, and I think of it too and stuff just from so many years of being like a hairstylist and everything else. That was one of the things is that I didn't believe in certain things. Like I don't believe in a la carte to get your hair done. Like if you're going to get some sort of service done with chemicals, of course you're going to want to sit there and trim up the ends of your hair, but they charged for every single one of them. And I think it's been about 2 years. I went one time, who was not a friend of mine, to go to this place, and I was like, well, maybe I'll do all this other stuff. And it cost me, because of the thickness, they charged for the length, they did everything else. It cost me $400 to
For
get
a
my
haircut.
hair done. To get my hair done, just my hair. Then to top it off, since so many years of being a hairstylist, they didn't do it right. I had to go back in through with my own hair with thinning shears. So I trimmed my own hair, and then they didn't tone it the right way either. So I had to go back in with the toner for my own hair. So I dropped $400 for this place. Not only have I never been back, like it's a whole thing. So I don't believe when people overcharge and they do all that stuff, people aren't coming back as often. People aren't doing it because it's not a realistic thing for the day-to-day person. And just like how you said, it will run out because there's only a certain amount of people, and you can't really keep an entire restaurant open if you have one person every 3 weeks coming in to have a $500 dinner.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Absolutely.
No.
Well, and again, I would support a beauty school before
Yeah.
I would support one of those $400 salons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Because
And
the
you're
beauty
actually
school
going to
is gonna
get,
make more money.
well, you're going to make more money, but then it's also a matter of like you have more people at those schools to double check the work, to do everything, versus me just walking out being like, what did I just pay for if I'm redoing my own
Luann
hair?
had a neighbor that owned a salon, and she went in to get a haircut or whatever and paid an outrageous price that I thought was outrageous, and was like $125 or something like that. And it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It was snowing in Parker, and she came home in tears, and her hair was wet.
What?
Yeah. And the lady that was doing her hair wanted to charge her $15 to blow dry it.
No.
And Luann said, no, I'm not going to do that. It's like she was being extorted.
Right. That's exactly, they like charge you for everything.
Went
And I am
home in a
all about
snowstorm with wet hair. And I said, that's it. I mean, this lady lived down the street from us, but I said, that's it. You're not going back to her ever again.
It's never, yeah. And that person just lost their own clientele because of something that doesn't make sense and is very stupid. Because they wanted to be selfish with, I guess, their time and not have like a heart. Like, who sends somebody out when it's like cold outside with wet hair? That's insane. That's insane. Yeah. No, so I love that. But no, I loved how you explained that for the Airbnbs, because I agree with it. And I think that that's a great reasoning behind why you don't do short-term rentals.
Yeah. Well, and I try things.
That you try different things and stuff.
Yeah, just a second.
You are all good.
I got my bookkeeper, our bookkeeper, Mallory. I'm asking her if she wants to join in the show.
Oh yeah, I adore Mallory.
I got an appointment with her, and I told her 10 minutes. So we'll wrap up in 10 minutes. Maybe we'll do a double version today. But
yeah, absolutely. Whatever you want to do. I adore her though. She's great.
Isn't she the best?
She really is the best. And if anybody's genuinely looking for a QuickBooks girl, not only is she super on it, she is very honest. She's very kind. She will walk you through everything. She is genuinely a great person.
And for my real estate business, my investment business, I have gotten to the habit of whenever a bill comes in or something, it comes in, I just send it to Mallory. I take a picture of the receipt. I send it to Mallory. She collects all of it for me, organizes everything. So nice.
She's so nice. She's seriously one of the nicest people ever.
And you interface with her at the CBD company.
I do.
And I work with her at the construction and the investment company.
Well, and I'm guessing with all your stuff and all the different properties and stuff, you sent her quite a bit more receipts, things to add in and stuff. You're purchasing a lot more, whereas like ours is like, oh, here's this invoice that was paid, like from time to time. She's very sweet though.
Christina is working. She can't jump in.
Which one was Christina?
She's the turbo cleaning lady for the.
Oh yes.
I was hoping to get you a Airbnb story.
Oh gosh, I'm
What
sure
a
those
nightmare.
for the Airbnbs. I believe it. And I love what you're doing with, like I said, the fact that you're finding affordable housing, you're redoing the inside, making it look really nice, and you're not overcharging people, you're finding people. One of the things that I had noticed too about last week when we were talking was that the one thing that you had kept saying too and stuff was that not only was it to help veterans, a lot of your stuff, you still go about it in a smart way, because even though they are veterans, like, you still need to make sure that you also protect yourself and do everything. And the fact that you're looking into it, like, they still need to have a certain amount,
Absolutely.
like a score,
Absolutely.
or yeah, like, just to make sure that you're not just letting a squatter move in or something. So it's like, it's kind of nice that, and to be able to talk with somebody with your experience is
Well, they need to
very
have
fun.
credit score.
Mhm.
They need to, make sure that they're, you know, reliable people. You know what
Right.
I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to find you some pictures of something that I'm closing. Just to kind of show the people
Oh, nice.
if I can find it. Otherwise, I may have to do it on our next show.
Okay. Well, then just let everybody know out there, I have talked to Michelle, our girl in the kitchen, and I got the inventory list and stuff. We are probably going to get in a couple new flavors to kind of try different things and stuff. But yes, have got we're fully stocked on everything. Besides, we do need more of our sugar free. We may not fully have everything like the flavors and stuff. Completely all the way in stock, but we do have like all the different selections of stuff. But the sugar free is the only one that we don't have in quite yet. So, but I'm excited to see what all new things we can get in flavor wise through the kitchen with Michelle. So
That's awesome.
I
That's
know, I'm
awesome.
excited. So, oh, and we still need to get to see when you can meet up with her to go grab that stuff for Miss Sam to take her photos if she can.
Did that get arranged?
It has not. I just need to know what your schedule is for Michelle.
Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I am going to try and find these pictures that I have.
Yeah.
The I just downloaded them, but the property that we're buying used to be a mortuary.
Yes. Yes. And you sent that video. It's kind of cool.
4,000 square foot craftsman
Mhm.
home,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna be crazy how much we rent this for.
Now, are you keeping it just as one, like it's going to be one home, not split level?
It depends on the people, but right now
Right.
I already have somebody that wants to move into it, and
Nice.
we're gonna buy it, and then we're going to
Renovate
put
it.
2 more bathrooms in it, so it's going to be 4 bedroom, 3 bath, and I'll come up with a little photo thing to kind of show the listeners here first,
Right.
the viewers here first. But it's going to be kind of fun because we
Yeah.
just finished up the bank, we finished up the Mason Lodge, and
Yeah.
2 other single family homes. And every time I advertise something, it rents right away.
It's like rented. So if you don't mind me asking, how many rental properties do you own currently? Just so that people know out there,
Like a dozen.
a dozen. Yeah. So then that's still a dozen people. That's monthly expenses coming in, everything else that clearly is manageable.
Well, what I try to do is provide homes to people at this point, but really what we're doing as a family is we're inviting people to invest with us to
Yeah.
build wealth. And so we're not only helping the people that are renting from us, but we're also helping the people that are learning how to run the wealth building business and how to do that. So they get a chance to not only do it themselves, but also kind of have us there.
Right, to do it. Well, and then on average, how long do you continue to own the homes after it's been rented out? Have you resold any of them, or
We don't sell houses. We only buy houses.
you only buy? There you go. Mm-hmm. That's
The
perfect.
the only houses that I sell are
Mm-hmm.
one time I sold my personal house.
In Colorado.
Well, I sold it for $725,000
Mm-hmm.
because if you have a $700,000 house and you try to rent that to someone,
Oh
no
no,
one needs to be renting a $700,000 house.
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah. Why don't you buy your own house?
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
I kind of wonder that because somebody two doors down, they rent out their house and they've got our home is the biggest inside our subdevelopment. It's the biggest layout that you can have. The one that's two doors down is actually the smallest one, and there's like I think 6 or 7 different home sizes inside our thing. So the one two doors down is actually the smallest one. They rent theirs out for more than what our mortgage is, and it's crazy. And
it's still not the right metric.
no, no, no. And it's
Because if you were renting it out for the right price, it should be 1% of the home value.
Mhm.
And if your house is worth $800,000 in Colorado, where you're at, you should be
Mhm.
renting it
Oh,
for $8,000 a month.
okay. Mhm.
You can't rent it for eight
Do
thousand
that.
dollars a month.
No, no, no. That would be insanity and stuff. Yeah. Even
$4,000.
now, it's even more so.
But I rent all of my properties out at 1%. So if I buy something for 150,000,
Then you
I
can
rent
rent it
it
for 1,500.
for $1,500,
Huh.
and that
I mean,
makes
and that's beyond doable. It makes sense.
and it makes sense. But listen, I got to talk to the bookkeeper, honey. I love you.
Yes.
Also,
Love you.
I want to tell you that Big Papa got a job as a national sales director for a company called Sellout Crowd, and that's
Yes.
Toby Keith and Bob Stoops and
Mhm.
Barry Switzer and all those guys are the top sports media channel, and they're just killing it in that space. But I'm meeting with large companies that want to tap into that for advertising, and so
Good. And I'm
I
very proud of you for that.
I will pay a commission to
Mhm.
salespeople that reach out to larger companies and get to find out what we're doing over at Sellout Crowd. So
Okay.
use your little influence, and I will give anybody that brings me some clients for those guys a commission.
More information, I will be able to put that out. I might be able to help find some people for that. So just
And
send more information my way so I know.
I love to give you money,
Well, I would
and
love to
everyone
do that.
else. I like to
And
give
yeah,
everyone
and
else
everybody
money,
else. Mhm.
and
I'd love to give it to other people. I'd
that's
love
part of our synergy thing that we're working on.
right.
And it'd be kind of
Moving it
nice.
around.
Well, it'd be kind of nice if we sold a bunch of money and one of those famous people decided that they want to kind of give us a little love for our CBD company.
I absolutely agree with you on
Because
that.
it's all about synergy, right?
It is. It is. It's everybody just helping everybody and just being kind. I think that that's a huge, huge thing. It's
Absolutely.
just be kind.
Well, I've kept Mallory waiting. So
Yes. Tell her hello.
can I reach back and have an after show with you a little bit later?
Yeah, if you would like to and stuff, absolutely. Just reach out. Have fun, sir.
Stay
Tell
warm.
Miss Mallory I said hello.
Love you.
Bye, guys.
Nicole, everybody.